How's it going, everybody? If you would for me, please like, comment, subscribe to the channel as per usual. Uh, and like I said, I'm going to be hopping more on YouTube, put more videos out, things of that nature. The not getting very many views like a lot of people are, but hey, the views are helping me, giving me the confidence to get back into doing this. Uh, so I just need to stay on it a lot more often. So the thing I want to talk about is, are movies getting more woke, as people put it? Because the way I look at it personally, um, I think first of all, these people who are saying things are getting more woke these days, they don't know what they're talking about. Don't even know what the word woke means. Um, but let's humor the idea of people who are saying, are movies getting more woke, quote unquote. And this is a social issue, as well as, this is a movie channel and this does relate to film. So I feel like, yeah, I got my headphone in. But yeah, so our movies getting more woke. Honestly, uh if you want to use it, because I feel like a lot of people who are using the term woke, they're not using it in the correct context. uh a lot of them don't even know the history of the word woke. um and a lot of people feel like this has become like a new term or something like that. Woke is an old term that was used a very long time ago. And if you really look at the definition of woke, um, I'm a woke person. A lot of people who see the things that are going on, uh, who see things, are people of being, treated unjustly, things of that nature. Uh, like seriously, what's wrong with being woke? Woke is, in the context of the word, is a positive or is a good thing. So, but it has been seen recently as, as a negative. But I mean, we're talking about, movies that talk about, racial issues, uh just social injustice issues in general, uh things against, gay, trans rights, uh or those types of representation, I guess, these days, by people are negatively seen as woke, or they go, oh, that's so woke, it's woke. uh I mean, if you want to be very honest, woke movies have existed for a very long time. It's not like, this is some new thing from Hollywood. I've seen, outlets to where, a lot of people have said like, oh, these movies have become quote unquote woke, to try to push an agenda in Hollywood, and that's not the case. A lot of these movies, a lot of documentaries, films of that nature are true. These are historical things that have happened, or this is the writer, director's personal experience, or a lot of art is based on a lot of people's personal beliefs. So I don't know. It's weird because how far we have gotten from, uh, artistic integrity. And reviews as well too. I noticed there are a lot of reviewers out there who are quote unquote anti, woke reviewers, who I personally feel are just ruining the atmosphere of what it takes to critique art. I'm a big movie buff myself. I have a few, movie scripts that I'm writing and I'm trying to get out there to people. I think that's part of the reason why I'm, hopping all over different platforms, trying to get my face out there, trying to get my name out there. Uh, I do a lot of things. I do a lot of writing, and do a lot of things in the artistic sense. I love film. I grew up learning about directors, writers, different director styles, the way they do things. Uh, so this isn't something, the quote unquote woke. This isn't anything new. It's something for this new generation to just complain about. It's or even I've seen a lot of the older generation do it, which is weird because if we talk about what they think is quote unquote woke, I challenge a lot of the old movies that they hold for nostalgic value. uh I'm pretty sure it's going to have something that they consider to be woke. uh they go like, oh, oh, they have strong female characters in movies these days. Why they have to have strong female characters in movies? It's like, okay, well, what about Ripley from? So if that's the case, then let's you got to take out Ripley from Aliens. You got to complain about Sarah Connor from the Terminator franchise, because isn't she not the main character of all the Terminator movies? Did they not make a TV show literally called the Sarah Connor Chronicles, if I recall? And not one of them complained about that. Um, what about the Tomb Raider movies from the Tomb Raider games? Was not Laura Croft not considered a strong female lead? Uh, it's just I just feel like it's a disingenuous way of being a reviewer, talking about I'm the anti-woke reviewer. Anti-woke is not, last time I checked, a movie being woke or whatever that is not a legitimate valid criticism. um when you talk about criticism, you're criticizing the story, the characters, the plot, how well the movie is filmed, the direction, the acting, the dialogue. I know for a fact, like when I review these movies, that is what I usually do, is I break down everything I see in a movie. Again, everything I just listed, again, from the acting, the characters, the plot, the dialogue, the way it's directed. That is how I do things when I review movies. Uh, and like I said, being woke or something that's woke is not considered is not a criticism. It's not a criticism of the art that's being displayed. I don't care about any of that stuff. I never did when I grew up watching movies. Um, I don't care about now in 2025. I see a movie, and when I review it, when you see it on this channel, I review it based on all the factors I've given it. If it passed all those tests and all those factors, if I see anything wrong with that, and that's why I have an issue with people saying movies are woke these days. Because I ask them, well, what does that mean? What are you talking about when you say movies are woke these days? And they go, well, Hollywood's pushing an agenda. And I'm like, well, okay, well, you can't just give me a conspiracy theory, because that's all it is at the end of the day, is a conspiracy theory. What agenda do you think they're trying to push in terms of trying to give uh, marginalized groups who weren't allowed to have that sort of spotlight? Now they are allowed to have that spotlight, whereas back then they weren't allowed to have that spotlight. So no, I think media these days is just trying to cater to larger groups of people, and it's allowing them to now have spotlight. I don't think it's still where it needs to be at, but I do think it's getting slightly better than what it was, especially when I was growing up. Uh, there's more film representation, uh, but for people to just dismiss it as woke, because I just feel like woke is a bastardized term that just means something you don't like. something you see on screen, you don't like it, it's immediately woke. Um, you know, there's there's too many black people in here, it's woke. There's too many gay people in here, it's woke. Strong female character, it's woke. Not realizing that these movies have actually been around for a very long time. Not in the surplus that it is now, because a lot of this stuff is just more accepted. But I mean, people's views on social issues and things of that nature have been around for a very long time. This has been in film, uh a little bit more, I think a little bit more like maybe 20, 30 years ago, uh versus now. I remember I remember somebody, what movie was it that, I think it was the Candyman remake, where the overlying message of that movie was talking about like police brutality, and towards police brutality police brutality towards black people, uh towards the black community. And I saw a lot of comments that are like, "Oh my god, the new Candyman, it's woke." It's like, well, the old Candyman, the old Candyman was woke. His literal backstory is he was hung and tortured as a slave because he was messing with a white woman back during slavery times. That's where the bees and everything came from. Yeah, he was a black slave. He was messing with a white woman. That was a no back then, and he was killed and tortured for that. Uh, and the movie also talks about, it talks about, oh man, what's the term I was thinking about? Wow, I'm blanking on the term. Jeez. Basically it's about like Cabrini Green, and how they were going to tear it down, basically. And there was a journalist who was a white lady journalist, who was going in there and was basically profiting off of uh, uh, low income groups, the black African American community, and how they were going through like low income housing and things of that nature. So and this is back in 90. When did that come out? Was it 91? I think it was 1990 or 91. I'm blanking on that term that I was thinking about. I'm gonna get mad at myself for not memorizing that, because I know what it is. But you basically get the picture. This is nothing new. It's nothing. Like, again, people talking about, movies are woke and everything. It's like this has been going around for a while. I don't see the difference in movies back then and back now. Literally movies with a message or some form of social messaging behind different movies or whatever. Again, I'm going to say it again: anti woke is not a criticism towards a movie, is not a valid criticism towards any form of entertainment, because everyone has their own personal issues, their own personal experiences, their own personal beliefs that they put into their work. Now, how it's executed is different, is based differently. So that's something that varies depending on that person's personality, who they are, their belief system. Uh, and I just think it should be judged on the merit in which it's executed, not necessarily in that person's belief. There's a lot of views I don't agree with. However, if you have a movie and I watch your art, I will judge it based on how I see it. And that's just basically uh, how that goes. I don't know how else to put it. Uh, yeah, so I don't know. That's pretty much my thought on this whole, movies are woke. I said this is a video I actually wanted to put up like a while ago. want to do. I don't know if this is, I'm kind of freestyling it, to be honest with you. I was actually going to be more prepared for this, but I don't have like my equipment. So like I said, I'm kind of doing it off the phone, but hopefully get some equipment here soon so we can actually start, really putting some production behind this. I'm just sitting here on my shirt, chilling, chilling in the room here, uh, doing this, do this recording. So hopefully I actually did really well off of my, explanation of this. Hopefully I got this video across the way I wanted to get it across. So that is my whole belief system on this whole woke filmmaking is woke now ordeal. So again, if you disagree with me, whatever, we do have a comment section. You can definitely go at it. If you think my opinion's crazy, let's go ahead and have a discussion about it. And again, I really appreciate, comments, likes, subscriptions. Definitely subscribe to the channel. All that is free. You don't have to pay for it. So I'll definitely see you guys in the next video. I appreciate you as always. Peace.